Chapter 1: The beginning of how it all happened. One Saturday night, there was a group of kids going trick-or-treating. They all met up at Abby's house and they made a plan of what they were going to do. But then Allison said, "Have you guys heard of the haunted house story that's going around?" Millie said, "No, I haven't heard about it. Can you tell me what haunted house story you're talking about?" "Sure," said Allison. "There is a rumor that on October 29th, 2009, 3 kids went to the haunted house and went inside, then they were never heard from or seen again. The families of the kids were scared and very upset. So do you guys want to go see if the rumors are true and if the haunted house is actually haunted?" Allison said. "Yes," said Abby, Harrison, Alyssa, Bella, Millie, and Landon. "Let's go then." They all headed to the haunted house, but on the way there, they stopped a couple of times to get some candy and say trick or treat. They came up on the end of the street that the haunted house was on. The haunted house was in the woods. They went up to the house and knocked on the door. The door flung open. It was really dark, but luckily their friend Bella brought 7 flashlights. Each of them grabbed a flashlight and they looked around the house. But they stayed together so that no one would disappear like the 3 kids did. They also stuck together because it's been 3 years since the kids disappeared. And it's October 29th, 2012. They saw a basement and it looked very spooky and scary. Landon said, "Guys, are you sure this is a good idea?" Everyone besides Landon said, "Yeah, it is a good idea." So they went into the basement and they all got scared because they heard a big loud bang. They all screamed in horror and ran upstairs. They saw a set of stairs that led upstairs, so they went up the set of stairs, and on the walls on the way upstairs there were pictures of the 3 missing kids with their families and Halloween pictures of what they had dressed up as for Halloween that year. They all got spooked out, and when they saw the pictures of them, then they continued walking up the stairs to the 2nd floor. There were 5 rooms. They all finally decided to split up, except for Abby and Landon. They stuck together because Landon is 5 years old. So each of them went into the rooms that they wanted to explore. Allison went into the bathroom, and there was blood all over the room and a dead body in the bathtub. Alyssa went into one of the bedrooms and saw one of the missing kids tied up in a coffin with spikes all around it on the floor, which makes it almost impossible to save the kid. So Alyssa called everyone to the hallway. Everyone came except for Allison, because she got so freaked out by the dead body in the bathtub that she froze in place. Abby looked around to make sure everyone was there before they started talking. She noticed that her cousin Allison wasn't in the circle of the group, so she told everyone to go to the room Allison went into. Then they all went into the room and saw Allison frozen in place by the bathtub. All of them went over to her and looked into the bathtub, and they couldn't believe what they saw. Harrison shakes Allison a little bit to get her out of her trance. Allison said, "What happened?" Harrison says, "You were frozen in place." They looked at each other, then looked at the dead body. Landon then recognizes that the body looks like one of the missing children from one of the pictures that they saw on their way upstairs. Landon asked everyone, "Doesn't that look like one of the missing children?" from the pictures? Millie says, "Oh yeah, it does look like one of the kids from the pictures." Then they all realized that there was another dead body, but the body was on the wall. They began to panic and check all the other pictures on the wall. Alyssa realized that her picture was on the wall. How could that be? She had never been in the house before. Then the lights flickered on. Allison screamed and Alyssa was gone. They all came together in the corner of the hall. In the nearby doorway they noticed a shadow. Yes, a shadow. A big, dark shadow. Then with a loud boom, Alyssa appeared. "Got you!" she screamed, followed by a long cackle. After that scare, Alyssa had to hold hands with somebody at all times so that she could not slip away and scare them again. With all the excitement, Bella was nervous of what was to come. She grabbed Abby's hand and wouldn't let go. As they walked hand to hand, they found the study. As the door creaked open, the room was filled with old, dusty books and furniture. Bella and Abby trembled with fear. Just then the white sheet on the couch near the fireplace began to move. What could it be? They thought. Then the sheet came off the couch and started towards them. The girls were frozen. What else could happen in a night that was already filled with such crazy events? Next thing they heard was a soft purring. Out popped the most beautiful black cat with a bright orange collar with a heart medallion with the name Lazy on it. As the black beauty approached, the girls felt themselves kneel to the floor to pet her. Then Lazy ran to the doorway and meowed. It was as if she was asking the girls to follow her. Both Bella and Abby looked at each other and at the same time took a step towards the cat. As they approached the hallway, Harrison and Landon were waiting. "Where did you find the cat?" asked Harrison sneezed. "I am allergic to cats," Harrison said. "But we must follow her," Bella said. Then everyone followed the cat to the next room while Harrison was in the back of the group trying not to sneeze. While they were walking, they thought they heard a girl giggle behind them. They saw one of their other friends, named Amelia, was with them. Amelia then joined the group. Then they continued walking with the black cat. Then they arrived at the next bedroom. It was all clean and nice, like if it was brand new, Amelia said as they walked in the room. Alyssa heard a whisper saying, "Come with me, Alyssa," and Alyssa followed the whisper while the group was still in the bed sleeping because they were so tired. They woke up 5 hours after Alyssa had followed the whisper. They all looked around to make sure everyone was there, but Harrison saw that Alyssa was missing and told everyone else that she was missing. Then everyone went searching for her. Harrison thought it was a prank and that Alyssa was trying to scare them again, but after a while, the group got worried and wanted to eat, but they did not want candy for once. Then they go and find food. They go back downstairs, but the cat meowed as if it didn't want them to. So the group listened to the cat and went back to the bedroom and saw food on the table that was in the bedroom. Alyssa and Millie went straight to the food, but Abby stopped them and said, "There might be poison in it, and I don't think you want to be poisoned, and that would be your death." "Yeah, true, we don't want to die from being food poisoned, said Allison and Millie. So then they asked Harrison to check out the food since he is an expert at telling whether the food is poisoned or not. So Harrison checked out the food and said that it was safe to eat after taking a very small piece of the food. Everyone then went and they ate the food. It turns out it was very delicious and Harrison was telling the truth. When they were done eating, they went off to find Alyssa, but this time Abby put a tracker on her. So they tracked Alyssa and they found out she was located downstairs. But that is strange because the cat didn't want them to go downstairs. They thought that was weird. Now they are confused if that they are supposed to follow the cat or not. So they all voted whether to follow the cat or not. Half of them decided to follow the cat, the other half didn't want to follow the cat because they didn't trust the cat anymore. They decided that the kids who wanted to follow the cat followed the cat, and the kids who didn't want to follow the cat would go down to the basement to find Alyssa. So that's what they did. Harrison, Belle, and Amelia followed the cat named Lacey. Lacey led them up to something that looked like an attic. They went into a room that was really dusty and smelled so bad they almost passed out. They saw someone standing by an old rusty dusty window. When they came closer, they saw two witches that looked like they just stopped fighting. Hint, they were the ones making the loud noises the kids kept hearing. They went up to the witches because they needed a spell that would help them save the missing girl. That was in Alyssa's room that she went to go check out. Amelia asked the two witches if they knew any spell that would help them save the missing girl. The names of the missing kids are Emma, Ava, and Josh. Emma was the missing girl that they had found. The other two were found dead in the bathroom with blood everywhere. The kids who didn't follow the cat because they didn't trust the cat were Abby, Landon, and Millie. Allison ran out the house and down the street, screaming and crying because of what she witnessed at the haunted house. So the kids went downstairs to the basement and were looking around for Alyssa. They quietly looked around the suspicious corner and saw